Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Peace, Love, Faith, and Divine Union. This is Kanisha, and I will be doing the Divine Feminine Collective reading. Don't think I forgot about you, Divine Feminines. I really enjoyed doing some readings this week, and so I'm feeling called to maybe focus on putting a reading or two out a week. So if you desire that, if you have questions, if you have a topic that you want me to touch on, definitely put that in the comment below. For those of you who are joining me that are new to my channel, welcome. I'm Kanisha. I am a Twin Flame Ascension coach, and I am here to help you into your harmonious union with your divine lover. I also help you with mindset and self-concept. Those are two things I'm very passionate about. And through doing that work, I've really changed my life in so many ways. I now live with my twin flame. We have a beautiful home together that we have manifested, and so many great things happening in our lives due to just this work of doing inner work and really claiming our divinity and our good, and having a compassionate and intimate relationship with our Creator. And so I have been guided to do more readings just because I have kind of strayed away from them for a little bit. It was a block that my twin flame and I were having. He comes from a very Christian background, and I have a more like spiritual new age. And so, of course, with twin flames, you're going to trigger each other in these kinds of ways. But the more that I've been really claiming my authentic divine self, the more that he has really opened up to allowing my full expression of the way that God has called me to. So that might be a few messages here for the Divine Feminine regarding just claiming your voice, claiming your truth, really allowing yourself to embody your divine, true, authentic self. And you will find that your divine masculine is absolutely going to receive you and love you just as you are. So before we get started, I'm going to do a quick prayer. If you would like a personal reading, you can find my readings at my website at Peace, Love, Faith, and DivineUnion.com. I will link that down below. So let's go ahead and get started. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing me to be the vessel for the Divine Feminine reading today. I ask for clear divine guidance and support, and I just ask for love and light and guidance that is going to support the Divine Feminine and really move them into their highest timeline and versions, authentic versions of themselves. I ask for my spirit guides and my angels to come through. I ask for complete protection, and I thank you for, again, using me as this clear vessel. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. I like to do prayers at the beginning because I am calling in energy, and I always want to make sure that my energy is protected. And again, sorry for the long intro, but if you want to fast forward it, it'll probably be, I'll try to timestamp it below. But I do not tell you your future. I tell you the energy that you are in, and I will tell you how to get clear on the core block that you're working through. I can help you move through the core block and clear it. However, I am not someone who says I'm going to tell you your future or when your divine masculine is coming back. So if that's not for you, it's okay. There's many other readers on YouTube. My goal is just to help you get very clear on what is the upset or block that you're moving through, how to clear it, and come into peace and harmony, not only with yourself, but with your divine lover. So can I get the energy of the Divine Feminine, please? Can I get the energy of the Divine Feminine Collective? We're going to start off with the chakra card readings, or the chakra reading cards. One of my favorite cards. This deck is by Rochelle Charman, if you are interested. All right. So we got clarity. Let me make sure that's in the frame. Cool. If you didn't check out the Divine Masculine reading, definitely feel free to check out their reading. There's some really great insights there for the Divine Feminine regarding what their masculine is going through. All right, what else does the Divine Feminine need to know? What is she moving through at this moment in time? Okay. Yes, I'm really loving these cards. cards here, Divine Feminine. Can I get one more for the Divine Feminine Collective, please? One more. Oh, beautiful cards. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Okay. So I will pull from different decks, but this is what we have going on right now. All right, so the first one that we have going on is clarity. At the bottom here of the deck, we have forgiveness. So it does feel like that's the overall energy, is coming into forgiveness with either yourself or your divine masculine, or just those who are in your life who may have wronged you or upset you or betrayed you in some type of way. And as I clear my throat here, that is going to allow you deeper clarity. As you forgive, you will find that forgiveness is actually one of the main and most important keys of your harmonious union with your divine masculine, because they are going to trigger and really bring up your deepest core wounds to the surface, to be cleared and to be loved. And so when you can master forgiveness, you will find that you claim your personal power and that you will relax into your peace much faster. I love that this number here is 13 in personal power, and the opposite is 31, and you have peace. And that is what I found. Like when I really truly claim my personal power, recognizing I can heal anything that comes to the surface, I don't have to give power over to the upset. I can just claim my power. It really does take me right into my peace. But I feel like you're getting clarity of what is actually needed from you in order to move forward in your life. If that's not what you're feeling right now, you have clarity coming in. And so you can claim clarity over your life. You can, I'm going to use the word demand. You can demand that over your life and say, I choose clarity, God. I choose clarity, universe. I choose to get clear on what my next steps are. I choose to get clear on what this upset is and what the core wound that's coming up to be healed. I choose clarity. And that really does, again, bring you back into your personal power and showing you just truly how strong you are and how divine you are and what you can claim over your life, which is absolutely anything and everything. So as you get deep clarity here, it does feel like you will find deeper peace and clarity within your life purpose, within your union with self, with your union with your divine masculine. And I think you're starting to see clearly. I'm hearing like clearly what the mirror is starting to show you. I think there was kind of some mucky waters because we have a lotus here, and the lotus grows in the mud and then it becomes this beautiful flower. And so it does feel like you were probably in the last few weeks to a few months moving through what felt like just murky and like not clear on what was actually happening. But it does feel like you're emerging into clarity here. With this personal power card, it really does feel like you are stepping truly into your divine feminine energy, and you're being called to really relax into your femininity. Now, that does not mean that you're passive or that you're just this peaceful, um, like always soft spoken, divine feminine. No, it means that like you are truly seeing that you are a daughter and the child of God. Like you have the ultimate power that backs you up. And this allows you to really step forward into your calling. It is calling for you to use your voice, to use your gifts. It really feels like a lot of you weren't clear on what your gifts are, but you're starting to get very clear on your calling and your gifts. And again, if you don't feel that way, it's coming in. So be very compassionate and very patient and just claim that over your life. Choosing your power and choosing your peace is really the most powerful thing a divine feminine can do. And going within and shifting how you view yourself and your perception of yourself is really important and key in order to move forward into the abundant and divine life that you deserve. I do feel like you're also getting clarity when it comes to your personal power, that you are deserving, that you are worthy, that you're already chosen, that you are loved. And when you allow yourself to truly relax into that, you will find that so many opportunities just naturally attract you. It does feel like as you step into your personal power, you're really going to start attracting opportunities, money, abundance of all sorts, people who really love being in your space. You're just going to start attracting these things to you. You're just going to be like a magnet. And this really does reflect a lot of what the masculine was moving through, of like really just coming to an understanding of what it means to be in his healed masculine. And so, divine feminine, you're also getting very clear on where you've been moving from your wounded feminine into your uh, like very healed feminine. Like you're just moving from power and peace instead of neediness and codependency. So, as you heal, your masculine heals. And for those of you who may not be in communication with your masculine, it does feel like you're getting clear or starting to see that everything is working out the way that it's supposed to. In the Divine Masculine reading, I did communicate to you, Divine Feminines, that even if it looks like the masculine isn't healing, they are. They are absolutely coming to truth of who they are at the core, what it means to step into their masculine energy, to be in their power. And it really is a reflection of what you're moving through here, Divine Feminine. So know that you are one with your masculine and that you're healing at the same time. It may not look the same on the outside, but on a core soul level, you both are healing together simultaneously, walking this path together. And you will find that you meet each other in peace. So as you claim your peace, that does not mean you have to walk around this earth being peaceful all the time. No, it's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel those really heavy feelings. What's not okay is staying in them and kind of being in this victim energy, woe is me energy. So use the mirror exercise. If you're not clear what that is, comment down below and I will share a video with you. But really choose to heal and move through all of the uncomfortable feelings. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable so that you can move through them and walk yourself into peace. That's what it means to truly love yourself, is to prioritize your peace. All right, what else do we have for the Divine Feminine here, Spirit? Okay, life purpose. Yeah, I did say that earlier. Getting clarity when it comes to your life purpose, what your calling is, what God is calling for you to do, what your gifts are, what you're supposed to share with the world. What else do we have going on here? We have creativity. Love that. One more, please. I am presence. I love this. The Divine Masculine got this card yesterday too. See, y'all are just moving together. I love it. I love it. I actually think, I'm pretty sure, maybe it came out in the middle, but I'm 100% this was like the last card that they got, or the second to last card. On the bottom, we have nurturing. So you're being called, Divine Feminine, to really nurture yourself. And as I say that, I'm going to pull from my self-love jar. I don't know if you guys have one of these. It's super easy to make. You just go get a jar from the dollar store. You put like sticky notes of things that you would want to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull one here and see how you can nurture yourself, Divine Feminine. I haven't done this in a reading before, but I want to. Okay, we have go on a dinner date somewhere you haven't been. So take yourself out to dinner, Divine Feminine. Okay, you don't have to be with your masculine in order to do this. I did this many times where I took myself out to dinner. I would get myself all dressed up. I would imagine I was going on a date with my masculine. And I just really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the food. I romanced myself with what I ate and how I ate. And I took myself places I'd never been before. And guess what? I now go on dinner dates with my masculine to those exact places. And that's actually one of the things that I did the most, was take myself out on dinner dates. And that's actually one of our most like common dates, is we go out to dinner and we go find places throughout where we live. and have dinner together. And we always have such a great time. So what you do for yourself, you will see that be mirrored back to you by your twin flame, by your union. So with this life purpose card, I do feel like with life purpose, creativity, and I am presence all together, you are being called to be very present with your life purpose and to create divine feminine. That is part of your purpose, is creating. You literally create anything and everything. You can multiply whatever is given to you. And as divine feminines, we are called to embrace our creativity and really allow ourselves to bring more into our present moment. So your life purpose is calling for your attention. I personally resonate with this. Again, if you've seen just even my latest videos, I've had videos back to back to back. It's because I've been called to create. I've been called to really focus on my life purpose and put more energy into it. And I've been doing that every day this week. And I can't explain what that does for the divine masculine, but when you're in that creativity and you're really just doing it from a place of love and joy, by the time my man gets home, he's like just attracted to me and like, I want to know about your day and I just want to love you and I'm so happy to be home with you. And I'm like, what is this energy? Well, it's because I've been doing my life purpose. I've been loving myself up. I've been giving love by serving the collective, by doing what God has called me to do, by serving God, by sharing my gift. And that requires me to be very present with myself. It's not easy to do readings because it requires a lot of energy and it requires a lot of presence in order to bring through these messages. And so it requires inner work. It requires a lot. Yeah. I mean, I could require every every few seconds, but it does. It allows you to really call in the energy that you're putting out, you're calling back in. And so I see that reflected back to me by my masculine. And that's the beauty about a divine union, is that it's not just a romantic relationship. It has a purpose. You have a life purpose to do individually and together. And so as I do my life purpose, it makes me very attractive to my twin flame. And again, I had avoided doing readings and doing what my calling was. Like, I knew I was really great at doing readings. I've gotten so many beautiful feedback from people who've gotten personal readings from me, but I was avoiding it out of fear of not being accepted by my divine masculine. And the more that I even entertained that, the more that he kept encouraging me to walk away from readings. And then I had a heart-to-heart moment with Jesus, and Jesus was like, this is the gift I gave you. You are able to see things, you're able to hear things, you're able to communicate things, and I need you to let go of the fear. So I don't do tarot reading. I do more oracle card readings because I do feel called more to that. And I do feel very supported in using these in my own inner work. And so when I do pursue my life purpose, and you are called to pursue your life purpose, you will see that it's actually calling you to accept all of who you are, all of your gifts, your voice, just your power and your true authentic way of how you were created and the expression that God has through you. So don't be afraid to pursue your life purpose. I hear the divine feminine say this all the time. If I take my energy off the masculine and put my focus on myself, then my masculine's gonna leave me, and it's actually the complete opposite. They're gonna be so attracted to you because you're being the amazing divine feminine that you were created to be. And it really is something that pulls them to you because they're meant to do their life purpose with you too. It also inspires them to do the same. So if you're a divine masculine watching this, curious on what your divine feminine is doing, they are creating, they are really stepping into what their calling is. And the way the divine masculine can support the divine feminine is giving her space to do that. Doesn't mean that they don't communicate with you. It just means they give you space to grow. And if you are experiencing space within your union, I don't call it separation. One, because separation is an illusion. So I am one of the few readers that I've seen on YouTube that talk about the truth about separation, which is just the illusion that you don't have something. And so, what I've come to understand is that you all already have your union, it's an inner process. And what you're doing is you're letting go of the illusion that you're separate from it. So, I like to call it space, because that's actually what's happening is when there's space, quote unquote separation, that space is meant for God. That space is meant for your healing. That space is meant for you to really tap into who you truly desire to be and are called to be by healing your nervous system, by healing your fears and upsets around relationships and love, by healing your relationship with your creator, and by coming into divine union with yourself. And it's actually really compassionate, because if you have your divine mirror, your twin flame, in your space all the time, continuously mirroring all of the junk that's at the deep core of you that's coming to the surface to be released, it's not always fun, it's not always compassionate, and it's not always easy. But you get to a point finally where you have mastered doing your inner work, and you have mastered seeing your twin flame as your perfect mirror and not your enemy, and you're seeing what they're mirroring back to you. And instead of using it to be upset with them or feeling like they don't like you or they don't love you, you're seeing it as, oh, what are they showing me in this moment? And how can I love myself in this moment? If they're showing me maybe ignoring me, then they're actually showing me where I'm ignoring myself. And once I choose to love myself in that place that I've been ignoring, whether it's around my finances, my intuition, speaking up, boundaries, maybe I'm people pleasing, maybe I'm avoiding doing something that I know I'm being called to do and ignoring God in that way. Once I stop doing those, whatever it is, and I love myself there, all of a sudden they're not ignoring me anymore. And it's because they're my perfect ascension tool. They're helping me come closer to the highest version of myself and to my creator. And they're actually unconditionally loving me by showing me where I'm not unconditionally loving myself. When you can get to that point, you will then have created safety and a foundation to have them in your space all the time. So if you're experiencing quote unquote separation, it's really just space to heal so that you can create a foundation for them to be in your life, to where it's not, they're still going to trigger you, but it's not like, oh, I can't handle this and maybe this isn't for me. I hope that makes a lot of sense. And I have found that this can be very hard at first. Coming into union with my twin flame was very hard at first because it was very triggering. But I had to remember he is my ultimate teacher before he is my ultimate lover. And he is showing me all of these places that are out of alignment with love. Now, when I really honed in on my inner work and really reflected on what he was showing me, we then were able to come into peace with each other, and we're able to live in peace and harmony more than we were living in upset. So be very compassionate as you heal that space, heal separation from your twin flame. Is there any last messages from this deck before I move on to a different deck here? Okay, we got one more. Yeah, we have Mother Earth here. All right, I really love this. And at the bottom, guys, you got the same card that Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine got yesterday. The last card that they had at the bottom was communication. Okay, I love this. Thank you, Spirit, for that. So you are telepathically communicating. If you haven't watched my video yesterday, I'm going to just briefly talk on this because I feel like the majority of you have watched my video yesterday, but you are telepathically communicating with your twin flame. It does not turn off, ever. Ever, 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 ever. It does not turn off. So be very aware of how you view and think about your divine masculine, and be very aware of how you think your divine masculine thinks about you. So for a long time, I believed in my mind that my divine masculine did not want to be in my space, or that I didn't want to be, that he didn't want me in his space. So what did I manifest, and what did I experience? I experienced him not really wanting to be in my space for years because we had met each other in high school. And I just kind of got this vibe that he didn't want me in his space. And literally one day he like yelled at me in front of the whole marching band. We laugh at this now, but like he yelled at me in front of the whole marching band. It was like, why are you in my space all the time? And I'm like thinking in my mind, like, I'm not in your space. I've actually been avoiding being in your space because you just have this like vibe that you don't want me here. So like I've been avoiding being in this space. But I was trying to talk to someone who was right behind him, and he just turned around at the right time, I guess, and just felt like I was in his space. So I avoided being around him for years. We shared mutual friends, and I was like, I'm not going to that get together because he's there. So I held on to this belief for so long. And then eventually we reconnected through a mutual friend, and I realized I still held that belief, but I was doing this work. And so when I recognized that I was feeling that way, I mirrored it. And I was like, I'm upset with myself because I don't want to be in my own space, in my own presence. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. Like, there is a part of me, an aspect of me that does not want to be with all of me. And so I made a new core choice there, and I love myself there. And ironically, he just like came over and we just started talking. And we both shared some really intimate things about what we were moving through regarding like a previous relationship and a breakup, and we just connected on a level that we hadn't connected with anyone else on that trip that we were on, and we had been friends ever since then. And so when you think something, they're going to reflect it back to you because their job is to reflect back your beliefs, your core beliefs. So if you have a core belief that you're not coming into union, or that your masculine doesn't want to talk to you, or that you're not good enough, or you're not worthy of that love, that is what they have to mirror back to you until you heal that. So you're being asked to really step into your divine feminine energy, to call on um, divine mother and heal any mother wounds that you have, heal any wounds around feeling unworthy, not deserving, not enough, and really realize that you hold the power in your hand. You absolutely have the power to change the dynamic of your union, to change your life in any and every way that you desire. And if you need support, I'm here to help you with that. I would absolutely love to support you. And you can do one-on-one coaching or group coaching, bi-weekly coaching, whatever you're called to. But that's my purpose. That's my calling, is to help people become the most divine versions of themselves. And I'm always working on that. I'm always moving forward in my life. It's been a very long time since I felt stagnant, and I've really seen my life just change in incredible ways by doing this work. So I'm here to support you on that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some messages from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. I feel like that's a question that's coming up here. I will, one real quick, I'm getting this guidance and I need to just share real quick what the divine feminine should be surrendering real quick, and then we'll go into the messages from the divine masculine. So what does the divine feminine need to be surrendering? Okay, yeah, these are coming out so quickly. So quickly. Okay. This might be a little bit of a longer reading. I wanted to do 30 minutes, but I think it's going to be a bit longer. So you have surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart. Have faith that spirit is guiding you always. So there we go again with focusing on your power. Surrender to your intuition. Yeah, this is something the divine feminines will shut off. Usually at an early age. You will shut off your intuition, and you will start to do what the world tells you to do. You start to conform to the way the world tells women should be. You start picking up patterns and ideology that is really not in alignment with your soul. So you're being asked to surrender to your inner voice. It says, be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. So I was going to go work out this morning, but like it just came through that I needed to do the divine feminine reading right now. And I was like, okay, well, let's go do that. And I really do feel like this reading has been quite easy and the messages are just coming through. So you have to learn to just follow your intuition, follow that feeling, and trust that that is the spirit, the divine leading you. That's God guiding you. in every way, because you are meant to be like just divinely guided and to follow your intuition. That's actually the divine feminine's superpower, is their intuition. And it's very attractive and very sexy to the divine masculine when you allow yourself to follow your intuition, because you just become this like just this gift. And this is something that my masculine has really communicated to me, is like, I just love that you listen to your intuition, and because he understands that my intuition is God speaking to me, and that I'm so connected to it, because there's been many times where I've communicated something and I'm like, this is just what my intuition's telling me, this is what God is communicating to me, and then God like reveals like why he uses me in that way, and my twin flame has learned to trust not only me but to trust God through me. So really listen to your intuition. You have surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up and taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. So I do feel like this also regards into your intuition of being kind of stubborn, of not listening to yourself, not trusting yourself is what I'm hearing. And there might be some stubbornness towards your divine masculine. It almost feels like when I'm like thinking of this card and I'm feeling into what is bringing it up for me, I'm visually getting a wall. And so it's almost like you're stubbornly putting up a wall out of hurt. And if that is the case and that resonates with you, I encourage you to look at that hurt and to ask that part of you what they need in order to feel love, and to bring that wall down. Now, there is a difference between walls and boundaries. Walls are come up out of hurt and feeling like betrayed, not feeling safe. And boundaries are just it's almost like a fence. It's like you can come over the fence, but the fence is really meant to keep things out that aren't in alignment or that are going to disrupt my peace. So get very clear if you have a boundary with your masculine or with other people, or if you have walls. And if you have walls, it's important to bring them down and heal, and then just put a boundary, a healthy boundary. But you are being asked to not worry so much, divine feminine. It has been said in the Bible 365 times. Ultimately, do not worry and do not stress, do not fret, and trust that God has it taken care of. Like God has your union taken care of, and you can have complete faith that God is guiding your union. There's no one who wants you in union more than God does. Excuse me. Can I get one last card here? One last card. Okay. We have procrastination. Surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on the goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract more success. All right. So I'm getting two messages from here. Surrender procrastination when it comes to doing your inner work. You got to surrender procrastinating. I'm getting this visual of divine feminines that are being stubborn around doing their inner work. It's almost like they're stewing in the upset. You're stewing in the upset instead of just loving yourself in that moment. I am getting a lot of judgment, a lot of shame, a lot of comparison with this energy coming up. So you're being asked to surrender procrastinating when it comes to doing your inner work. I also am getting that you're surrendering procrastinating when it comes to life purpose stuff. So really allow yourself to just surrender. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, take a deep breath in, maybe go for a walk out in nature. Do things that really bring you back to your center, bring you back to peace, whether that's dancing, singing, painting, gardening, whatever it is. Allow yourself to do something that's going to bring you back to your peace, that brings you joy, that really allows you to just relax. That's really what the divine feminine needs at this moment, is just permission to just be. So there is that. Oh, like at the bottom we have surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy. Yeah, so exactly what I said. Don't get so caught up in day to day and like having to take action all the time, because that is a very masculine energy, is just like going all the time and not allowing yourself rest or breaks or time to do things that really bring you joy. I know this says taking action will attract success, but as the divine feminine, do go within first, do your inner work first, and then take the divinely guided action. I recognize that when I do action from my own thinking, where I'm like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do that, I'm exhausted by the end of the day. And I really don't feel like I got much done because I'm trying to push and force and make things happen. But when I do my inner work and I surrender and then I get divinely guided action, it's just kind of like this knowing like, oh, I should have fun doing this, or I'm being called to do this. That's when I get so much done, and it's from a flow. So that's what you're being called to do, divine feminine. All right, let's go ahead and get some messages from the divine masculine. All right, Spirit, can I get messages from the divine masculine to the divine feminine? I don't remember if I did this for the divine masculines yesterday. I think I did, but let's go ahead and pull from. I love this deck. I use this particular deck for inner work when I'm having upsets with my twin flame, and they have been really helpful. So we're gonna feel guided to pull from here. Can I get messages from the divine masculine to the divine feminine, please? Can I get messages? That's so cute. We have Cupid's arrow. Have faith. Love is coming. Surprise invitation or meeting. And then we have hesitation is the last one. So what I'm realizing with these cards is sometimes they give you feedback of like what your core block is. So there might be hesitation within your heart that love is coming and that your divine masculine wants to communicate with you or meet with you or see you. So know that this is how they're feeling. This is what they want you to know, is that they want you to know love is coming and that they do want to see you. They do want to have time with you. There might be some hesitation. So go within, heal, and ask yourself, like, where am I hesitating being with all of myself? Where am I hesitating expressing all of myself and loving all of myself? And give yourself exactly what you need there. I love at the bottom that we have twin flames. It says yin yang, balance, union, duality, coupling, and complement each other. So that is the bottom energy there. What else can I get for the divine feminine, please, from the divine masculine? We have photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. I love that these cards are coming out because there's not some great there's cards in here that I'm like, ugh, I don't like this energy. But like these two together, your masculine's like, I love you. That's like the message is coming through. Is like, I love you. They are looking at you. They are missing you, and they do desire to. I'm hearing even say like, I do desire to just take a photo with my twin flame, or like receive a photo from my twin flame, from my divine feminine. So if you feel called, don't do that out of control or trying to get something from them. If you're able to just send it and like surrender the outcome, perfect. But know that that's what they're doing. They're looking at your photos. If you are somehow, actually the bottom card here is separation. It says sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future, and you also have missing you in this card too. So there's definitely a very deep missing energy. So if you're currently experiencing space right now from your divine masculine, they feel that, okay? I do feel like divine feminines feel like the masculine. I'm going to do a video on this here very soon. Like the masculine doesn't care or that they're too busy doing other stuff. But like the divine masculine is not, it's not easy for them to like put their heart on their sleeves and like show emotion because society has told them that that makes them weak. So they have to have like this stoic energy. Like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine, when they're like falling apart inside. So be very compassionate with your divine masculine. I do feel like that's a little bit of the stubbornness energy too, is just not having compassion for the masculine and having unconditional love, just because we are moving through hurt and pain, and that's hard sometimes to unconditionally love someone when you feel hurt by them or you feel like maybe they have abandoned you on some level. But definitely know that you can't be abandoned. It's not something that God created. And so you can experience the illusion of abandonment, but God never abandons you. The only way you can be abandoned is if you truly abandon yourself. And so if you're abandoning yourself on some level or another, you're going to experience your twin flame and the illusion of them abandoning you. So know that they are thinking about you and that they do desire to be with you. They do desire to be in union with you, Divine Feminine. Can I get a few more messages from the Divine Masculine? We're already going on a 40-minute reading. I apologize, guys. If you've stayed all the way, definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some comments below. Let me know that you were here. I love reading your guys' comments. All right, we have Healing Heart. Healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship, and addiction. So I do feel like they're healing their heart regarding this connection, but I do feel like some of them are coming out of toxic relationships or toxic addictions that may have caused the separation in the first place. I do know I have clients who have had twin flames who are working through addiction, which is a reflection of addiction to ego, which we only have one addiction, and that is to ego. And so, if there's space right now, like they're healing their heart so that they can come closer to you because they don't want to hurt your heart anymore. But it does feel like a lot of them are coming out of other connections around too, or they're also healing from past heartbreaks, which has caused them to not want to go all in on this connection because they're afraid of being hurt or hurting you because they're hurt. Yeah. You know the saying, hurt people hurt people? Like they don't want to hurt you because they are still moving through hurt. And so, again, coming back to having a lot of compassion for the Divine Masculine, but their heart is healing, and they hope that you're also healing your heart too. As you heal your heart, it heals their heart because you're one soul. All right. And then we have cassette, we have outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in our head. So, yeah, again, that brings me back to this communication card that we had. When you are thinking about the past and you continuously play those events in your mind, they also get that same telepathic communication. And so if you have not let go of the past and like healed your past and forgive it and let it go and choose to be in the present moment, they're going to continue living in the past too. So they're asking you to let go of outdated thinking, of negative thinking, especially around your union, and also let go of conditions. So with the twin flame dynamic, your twin flame dynamic is not the same as a soulmate dynamic. So when you listen to dating advice, like if he wanted to, he would, or and that's the one that's come to my mind right now. They are your perfect mirror. So this is true. Yeah, if he wanted to, he would. But if you're not doing things for you that you would usually do for you or that you want to, they're not going to do it for you because they're not going to engage in a codependent relationship with you. That's the whole purpose of a twin flame dynamic. Not the whole purpose, but a big purpose of the twin flame dynamic is to teach you to be dependent on God and not dependent on people outside of you. To teach you to be dependent on seeking your love and your attention from your creator and from within and not trying to seek love outside of yourself. So I don't encourage watching like dating advice around worldly dating, and really get very clear on what it means to be in a twin flame union and listen to those who are in twin flame dynamics, who are in union, or working towards being in union with themselves and union with their twin flame and their creator. Like those are people you want to get advice from. I always say if you're not willing to change lives with them, don't take, like, be very careful with the advice you take from them. And I find that I have really shared so much about my own connection, which was very intimidating at first because the thought process is, oh, it should be perfect and everything should flow and it should be harmonious. No, you got to work through some crap before coming into the harmonious place. You have to work through the unraveling of thought processes, of beliefs, of patterns. And it's not always fun and easy, but if you keep persisting and just doing the inner work, you do come into harmonious union with your twin flame. And I will tell you, 444, as I say it, it is so worth it. It is so worth it being in your union with your twin flame. All right, let's get one more card here and see what the masculine has for the divine feminine. Yeah, that flew out. Okay, so we do have a soulmate relationship connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. So what that does, that really does just resonate of what I've said, is like, yes, we're more than soulmates. So it's important that you don't see me or try to communicate with me like I'm a soulmate, because their purpose is to be your ultimate teacher, your ultimate best friend, your ultimate partner, and your ultimate lover, kind of all in that order. And a lot of us are trying to get the ultimate lover part from them first. But you have to recognize they are your ultimate teacher first. They're going to teach you where you're out of alignment with yourself, and they're going to teach you how to unconditionally love yourself so that they can then reflect to you unconditionally loving you. My last card here is, sorry, I like flipped over. We have healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. Man, I can't make this stuff up. Like, that's what they want for you, is to start making healthier choices for your life, to have self-love, self-care, really loving the life that you desire. It's not compassionate or fair for your twin flame for you to hate your life and to be miserable and to be like, oh, I'm going to feel better once they're here. That's codependency. That's you looking at them and being like, I will have a happier life and be better and feel better when you're here. That's a lot of pressure for the divine masculine. And so what they truly desire is for you to have your own life going on too. Like, that's something my masculine said all the time. Like, I love that you have your own business. I love that you have things that you love to do. I love that you have friends that you love to hang out with. He's like, I love that you have a life outside of me, because I don't feel so much pressure to make sure that you're like everything's taken care of. He's like, you know how to take care of you. You know how to take care of your feelings. You know how to work through things. You know how to go to God for those things. And he's like, and it makes me feel so much secure in our union, because I feel that if for some reason I'm upset, like, I'm allowed to be upset. I'm allowed to work through my things, and you're not going to crumble and fall apart because I'm not showing up in the way you need me to. You have to give them space to be able to move through what they need to move through, but they'll feel too afraid to do that if they feel like your sense of your sense of, oh gosh, your sense of well-being is dependent on them. And I can't imagine having such a crummy life and then having my twin flame come in and be like, save me, because that's not their job. Their job is not to save you, divine feminine. Their job is to help enhance your life, to partner with you, to do life with you. But you're being called to really start cultivating a life that you love so that you can invite them into that space and they can help expand that space. Not, here's my crummy, sad life and I'm waiting for you to fix everything. Like, that's such a heavy energy. For soulmates, that might work. But for a twin flame, they're just going to reflect back to you all the bad feelings that doesn't feel good within you. They're going to reflect back all your insecurities, because they're like, hey, this is where you need to love yourself. This is where you need to bring God into the space. So I hope this is supportive for you, divine feminine. Again, write, comment down below like what you received from this reading. I appreciate all of you who have continuously followed my journey, who continuously watch my videos. I love you so much. If you're new to this channel, I really hope you stay. I enjoy meeting and talking to all of you. I love your comments. I always reply back to them. It brings me so much joy. And if you resonated with me as a reader, definitely put that down below and I will make sure that I'll do more readings. But I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Peace, love, and faith, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.